Welcome to Tech Talk Live, a resource produced by Vision Forward. Low vision and blindness technology, tips, tricks, and information presented in a way that makes sense. And now, here are your hosts, Corey and Luke.
Welcome one and all. Welcome back to Tech Talk Live, the show where we talk about assistive technology live. And today I am joined by Corey Ballard.
Hello, I am also live, and I'm here to talk about technology.
Very true. He's live and he's ready. We also have in the background today, Jonathan.
Yes, hello. Welcome to another Tech Talk Live.
Thank you, Jonathan. And we also have the one, the only, it's Peter Tucic. Hello, Peter.
Hello.
Oh, look at that applause. Oh, the audience.
I knew that we'd fill this place up. I knew we would.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
I know. Anytime we have Peter on, we know that we're in for a magical ride. Now,
just start sitting on the floor on the edge of the room because
there you go. Yeah, we'll find space for you. We'll find space. Hang from the ceiling. It's going to be great. Peter is, of course, the director of strategic partnerships at Humanware. Peter, I don't know. Last time we talked to you, I'm not sure. Were you in that position at that time? I don't remember.
I may have just been anointed with that position, but I think it's been a little bit, there've been a few pieces over the last couple of years, so I don't think so. This might be my inaugural participation here as the director of strategic partnerships. Do you feel like I've directed the partnership well thus far?
Yeah, thus far, I would say you've done a brilliant job of directing our partnership. You've told us jokes. You've asked us questions. You've answered questions. It's been fantastic.
It's only been going for 45 seconds.
Right?
I've done all of that in a very short period of time.
You're a go-getter.
Yes, and you will continue to do that throughout the episode as we talk about a new product from Humanware, which nobody knows what we're talking about yet, because in the email that I sent out, I couldn't remember the name of the product, sadly. So it was going to be a surprise.
Why wouldn't you have said that you were purposely teasing people?
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant.
Good.
I was purposely teasing the audience with a surprise, and it will be a nice surprise. But before we get into all of that, of course, we do have to have our usual joke segment. Actually, before we do that, Jonathan, our producer here, gave me an interesting tidbit of information which he wanted me to share. Yes. He wanted me to let everybody know that today is the anniversary of the discovery of helium.
It's very close to his heart, this topic.
It's a topic which he is personally very invested in.
Yes.
As on the side, he does manufacture helium and sell it at children's parties.
Is that something you manufacture, Luke?
Well, I have no idea. I'm assuming.
It's not an element?
I guess so. I have no idea.
I also am pretty sure that providing helium straight to kids is not a great business plan.
True.
I mean, you could put them in balloons.
Well, I've heard Jonathan...
can't put kids in balloons anymore.
That's good go.
I heard that Jonathan likes to turn up at children's parties unannounced with his bottles of helium.
Fill the room with helium.
Yeah, and just see if he can flog them, hoping that the children have some spare pocket money. He especially targets the child whose birthday it is on the assumption that they will have the most money at that particular time.
Or at least a piece of cake for him.
I learned two things from Luke with this.
Anyway, happy helium discovery day, everyone.
And that helium comes in bottles. Those are the two things I've taken away from.
Yes, Peter, yes, they do. And apologies if we have some crosstalk between Peter and Jonathan. Sadly, they can't hear each other because we haven't quite finished our setup here.
You're right, I didn't even think of that.
No. I'm pretty sure that helium does come in bottles, and if anybody has any other advice, to point toward that not being the case, then please let us know in the chat.
Well, helium doesn't only come in bottles. It is a natural element. So it's not like there's just bottles flowing around.
That is lies and disinformation. Don't believe it, people. Don't believe it. Now sadly we were going to have a helium sound effect to celebrate this event, but we were unable to get our sound effect software working.
Voice changing.
Yeah, so maybe next year, on the next anniversary of helium, we will pledge to have that sound effect ready.
Boy, I can't wait.
Me neither.
Give me a what are the chances? Give me some odds that we'll even remember.
Oh, I'd say 0%. But I like to give people hope.
That'll be when Tech Talk takes place on a Friday.
Oh, good call. It won't be. Next year it won't be a There's, the date.
Oh, yeah, that's a very good.
Yeah.
So
Peter,
just
you
saying,
are-
So
everyone,
if
look
we could
forward to that
update the
special
schedule,
Yeah.
let's update the schedule right now.
Yeah.
1 year from now, we'll be doing it on a Friday.
See, this is why Peter is director level, because he instantly knew that this plan was
He's like,
doomed
this
to failure.
partnership will not work.
Exactly.
Let me direct this here, guys.
Peter, are we going to have how do they call it? A video bomb from the lovely Ivy May Tucic today?
You
Or
never
is that
know.
not
I
on the
mean,
cards?
so she's on a walk. We'll see. She
okay.
actually is afraid of balloons, so I'm kind of glad she's not here for this discussion. Not a huge fan of the balloons. They can be a little bit traumatic for an 18-month-old. So we never know, though. She may show up. I'm sure we will. Not a photo bomb, but there could be an audio bomb because
that would be great. I'm already looking forward to it. Yes, and I will let you know, Peter, that that our background today is actually a lot of helium balloons. So maybe she doesn't want to look at the screen if the screen's turned on. Maybe she does not look at it.
And we're also on camera too, so she probably doesn't.
I was going to say there.
Yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
yourself. Anybody who's interested in the ongoing saga, I did indeed go to the courthouse and receive my certificate
that's right.
last
Citizen
Thursday.
update.
Citizen update. So I am now officially a U.S. citizen. Thank you. I am wearing my my U.S. flag underpants, in case anybody was wondering, and I do I do know at least the first 4 words to the Star Spangled Banner. So everything is very exciting here. Now let's move on before we just go off on a complete tangent and get onto the joke section, everybody's favorite section. This is a section where we tell jokes and read jokes. Yes, Corey.
Have we gotten any chats? Suppose
we have, and I would love to read those out.
No, I just want to make sure that the chat was fixed.
Yes, last time we were on, the chat was not working today.
Yeah, Zoom decided to make a change and not tell us. That was awesome.
That was great. But we do have something in the chat here. So here we go. From Paula. Why did the wildebeests stop playing poker with an elephant?
Wildebeest, elephant, poker.
Playing poker with an elephant.
Pair of ears, big.
I'm not sure I understand the punchline to this joke. I'm going to be honest.
I don't know much about wildebeests.
Me neither,
I mean, all right. Well,
Peter, any ideas? Why did the wildebeest?
absolutely none. No ideas here. But I'll critique it once I hear the punchline.
Okay, so the answer is they learned he was a cheetah, as in cheetah the animal. Now I'm confused why he was an elephant, but then he turned out to be a cheetah. Are wildebeests blind? Is that why?
I think that they're just explaining they meant cheetah as in the animal. You leave that part off of the joke.
Can I just briefly?
They found out that he's a cheetah.
No, but but the punchline doesn't make sense though, because he's an elephant. Why is he a cheetah?
I think.
Well, maybe it's a cheetah dressed up like an elephant.
I want to bring us back to the blindness relevancy here. Luke made a quick mention of his citizenship and knowing the first 4 words of the Star Spangled Banner. Now, do you say that a lot around Vision Forward? Do you just walk around saying, "Oh, say, can you see?"
Hey, that's very clever, Peter. That's very clever. But I do actually go around singing it. But now I'm thinking about it. Maybe it's not actually the best idea to do.
It just doesn't seem, it doesn't seem very. You need to get some more words. Though. Do a little better.
I'm hoping because I have the tune along with it, then at least people will understand what I'm going for. But maybe not. Maybe you're right.
Can I just say, so in the theme of what we'll be talking about today, I did come prepared. And we will be getting to kind of where we are with this whole Humanware mystery piece here.
Sure.
We're going to be talking a bit about travel, and I did come with some. Of course, I came with some travel jokes, and it wouldn't be me without bringing this A-list material to the table. I always like to try my new jokes out here. Usually is kind of the best place to do that. So,
no, definitely, you need to get the reaction before you take it live on stage.
So the joke I have for both of you is, what did the ocean say to the shore?
The ocean said to the shore, it said, how are you today, shore?
It's a very good guess. Very good guess. It did not say, how are you today to the shore.
Would you like me to say hi? Sure.
Yeah. Why anybody in the chat know the answer? What did the ocean say to the shore? Jonathan, any ideas? What did the ocean say to the shore, Jonathan?
If I know the answer, can I say it?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, sure. That's what we're here for.
Well, it probably wouldn't say anything. It would probably just wave.
There quick on the
Thank you.
Googles he is.
And Maria in the chat here had actually slightly before Jonathan had said it, had also put the answer into the chat. So nice
they
one
got
there.
me. They got me ahead of time.
Yeah, only just though. It was
Jeopardy
very close.
rules.
That was a good one, Peter. Do you have any more?
Oh, you know he's got more.
Well, yeah, I mean, do I have more? Of course I have more. Why did the librarian get kicked off of the plane?
Because they didn't book a ticket.
Oh, that's not a book.
No, I don't think that's good enough, though. It's not.
Threw a book at something. Yeah, I don't know.
It was overbooked.
Hey, I was close. I was close.
You were on it. Oh, you were
We had the word
A
book
for
in it,
effort.
I'd like to, at this point, I would like to read one from Marcy, a joke from here.
Okay.
What is black and white and red all over?
A newspaper.
Newspaper, yeah.
You know, that would be my usual answer.
Yeah.
But Marcy's gone a different route here. A bashful zebra.
Oh.
Thank you, Marcy. Now, of course, in England we say zebra, but now I'm an American. I said zebra because I know that's
So proud of
how we do it here.
We've got one from a staff member, Mary, who sends corny jokes on Fridays. How do you make a octopus laugh?
Octopus has got 8 legs. You tell it what you ate? No. You tickle it? No.
Yeah. You're close.
I am?
You give it tentacles.
Hey,
Tentacles. Hey.
I'll give myself the reward.
All right,
that's really
one
for
last
Mary,
one
though.
from
That
the
was
travel
true.
department.
All right,
This
Peter, let's
is
do it. Let's do it.
Where do sharks? This is very fitting. Where do sharks go on vacation?
They've got Finland.
You got it, Luke.
Yeah!
Nice.
All right, very good, Peter. Thank you for coming prepared.
Yes, we do
I always
appreciate
come
that.
Again, this is why
Now he
Peter is the
doesn't-
Director of Strategic Partnerships.
He has
This is what I
nothing to
spend my
talk
day
about
doing.
the new product, but he did
No,
have
no. The surprise of the show is there isn't even a new product to talk
He's just
about.
here to tell travel jokes the whole time.
All right, Peter. Well, thank you for coming on the show, and it's very nice to have you. We've had you at least twice on the show before, and it's always a pleasure. And you have come on the show today to tell us about a Humanware product that I don't believe has officially released as of yet, but you did reveal it at a conference, I believe. I'll tell you what. Why don't you jump in it and just tell us all about it?
I like the method where you just say
Make
kind
things up.
of speculations and things about
And then
what I
don't
may or
give
may
him
not
a
have done.
chance at
You
all
may have
to
done
like
this and you may not have.
All right, Pete, go on.
So thanks so much for having me. First of all, I always appreciate the opportunity, and I know we had kind of discussed this far earlier in the summer. So
Yes.
it's always it's nice when when these things do come up, and I think, oh, awesome, I get to jump on with Luke and Corey and Jonathan. It's nice to meet you, even though you can't hear me. It is nice to meet you.
I'm going to
well.
relay the message. Jonathan, Peter says it's nice to meet you, even though you can't hear me.
It's good to see you, even though I can't.
Well,
Yes,
there
very
you go.
nice. Very close.
So I'm glad to be here, and I love coming on and kind of talking technology. I know we've previously talked about the Victor Reader Trek. I believe we've talked about Braille products.
Yes.
I work primarily with our blindness products, both kind of on the back end and on the front end side. So I manage a team of product specialists to still do a lot of training and kind of working with boots on the ground, ears to the ground, being in schools and being around our end users. I am an end user myself as someone who's totally blind. And so it's good to come back. And one of the reasons why I was excited to come back is we were in and at the cusp of launching a new product. And we did, we did talk about this at the conventions this summer. So both at NFB and ACB. So this is not a mystery, so to speak, but it really hasn't been talked about on any sort of podcast or show. So this is the first place where it's going to get not only some mention, but also some demonstration. You'll be able to hear the product and kind of understand its functionalities.
That's great.
With that being said, there will be a webinar on September 1st that myself and Matthew Paquette, who is our new product manager for the Victor Reader line of products, in the Trek line of products, we will both be present. And we'll be doing a more in-depth, very, very much in-depth sort of dive into the product. So keep that in mind.
Peter, do you happen to have a link to that or something I could put in the chat? Anything like that?
I will. It's the e-blast will go out, Luke, and what I'll do is I'll have you I'll have you get it for the show notes. I don't have it with me, but I'll make sure we can get it to you, because when we do our sharing, and the product itself will launch next Wednesday, so the 23rd of August. I'll make sure we can share that info because I don't even have it myself.
Yep.
But the webinar will be September 1st. There will be 2 offerings, one for our UK friends that'll be at 2 o'clock UK time, and then we'll do one at 8 o'clock PM Eastern here in the US. So we will do two webinars that day. You can feel free to join. And then, of course, they'll be archived as they always are, available on our HW Buddy app and other places as well.
So we do have handouts for our shows. So what I'm going to suggest people do if they want to get this link is give it a few days to get.
Yeah, I should have it by tomorrow. I should have it by tomorrow, if not later today.
Great. So wait until tomorrow, and I will go ahead and put that link into the handout for this show. And you can find those by going to vision-forward.org/Tech Talk Live. And then I think, do we have a link to the handouts in there? Yeah. So there'll be a link to the handout. So if you just look for the handout for this show, and the link to the webinar that Peter's talking about will be put into there.
So the product that I haven't mentioned yet, the product that is coming is going to be a standalone GPS product that we have been working on for quite some time. Humanware is no stranger to GPS. We've been a player in this space since the early 2000s, and even earlier. We've had products like the Trekker Maestro, the Trekker Breeze, the Breeze Plus, amongst other products, including the Victor Reader Trek, which we still support and still have updated. Well, it is not going anywhere, and I'll be talking about that. But the new product is going to be called the Stellar Trek. And the Stellar Trek is going to be getting us back to a standalone GPS product, much as we had with the Breeze and Breeze Plus, so a dedicated unit. We're not thinking of it as an audio consuming device. It is not a Victor Reader product. It has zero Victor Reader sort of essence to it. So all of that audio content piece, streaming radio and all of that, books, talking books, recording notes, that is not on the product. This is a dedicated travel device. We kind of have been working on this behind the scenes because we are going to be introducing artificial intelligence due to the product having cameras. The product has 2 cameras on it. Those cameras are used for a couple of features, one being to identify text in your environment, and the other, there's a wide angle camera that we'll be using to kind of augment your travel experience in identifying doors and also addresses. And I'll be talking about that. Very nice. So again, it's a product that lives in our sort of standalone GPS ecosystem. It is going to be able to do everything we've done to this point with some more features. And so I'll be going into what those features are. It is really meant for somebody who wants a single sort of push button solution to a navigation aid. It is meant to enhance or augment your travel experience. It will never be a replacement for a dog guide. It will never be a replacement for using your cane, having those good orientation mobility skills. I've said that before on this podcast. I've had people come up to me at shows and say that their GPS product led them into the middle of the street. And I will always say, why did you go? Why did you go in the middle of the street? That is not, the product is not, you are smarter than a GPS device. So again, I don't know that I am,
but I appreciate it.
I wasn't talking to you specifically. I meant the listeners, not you, Luke, trust me. There's always, caveats to pretty much everything I say. But it is something that, we've been a player in for a long time, and this is kind of the next iteration of it.
Peter, a quick question then. So the Trekker Breeze will still be being made, and the Victor Trek is what I meant to say.
So the Victor Reader Trek
will still be around.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Victor Reader Trek is not going anywhere. We just released a major map update to the Victor Reader Trek in May of this year. We updated all of the HERE maps, which are what we will be using on the Victor Reader Trek as well as on the Stellar Trek. HERE maps are used in autonomous vehicle research. They're comparable to Google Maps. Certainly we're really glad to have them, and the Victor Reader Trek is not going anywhere. Okay. I would not be surprised. Of course there will be more map updates, but also there could be feature updates moving forward. That product is not going away, and we'll still sell and support. The
Victor Stream 2nd generation, that's also available, right? If you just want
that is also available, and certainly will be continued to be supported and sold. As I tell everyone, it's no secret. We put out a survey last year to assess and gather feedback on the Victor Reader Stream. I have read and I certainly pay attention to lots of user lists where there's quite a bit of odd information, misinformation, various pieces floating around. There is not a new Victor Reader product. I've also read that it's taken us ages from that survey, and I will say that any development time for a company like Humanware or anyone, your standard turnaround on product from concept to completion is anywhere from 18 to 24 months. We were at about that 18-month window from when we put that survey out. So again, even if if there was a new product, that was in development, even if we had started the day after that survey closed, we would still be in that window. So we need to be conscious of that, and that's just the way the world works. I know we've kind of come to expect products at a very fast clip in innovation, and that's great. But to develop a product, we have to look at a realistic product development cycle, which is when you gate things properly to make sure you can produce products at scale. It's going to take you at least 1.5 to 2.5 years to build anything that can be scalable.
I would say that that's even more the case at the moment with all the supply chain issues that was caused by COVID and everything. It seems like everything's got delayed and
everything's
more difficult
been delayed,
to produce.
and as a result, the prices have gone up. And we've seen it on our products. All of our products have had to take price increases, and I give 2 examples, and they're both on the Victor Reader Trek. There are other products I can point to, but there's a component on the Victor Reader Trek that we were using for 4 years. This component came, I believe it was $6.91. And during the pandemic, what started happening was supply chain is a very blanket term for a lot of people doing a lot of strange things, taking advantage of shipping situations and all sorts of pieces. That component went from $6.91 to $106.
Oh my God!
We cannot produce products unless we buy things in quantity. So when we do that, we have to, at some point, we can't eat those costs. Not only does that happen, but also, and we've had our moments with this. You will find a lot of middlemen who now come into the market offering components that they simply don't have. They're just looking for, I can undercut that $106 price with an $82 price, and they don't even have the product, and they just take you for a ride. So there's been a lot of that, combined with, of course, the lockdowns in major ports. Humanware does not produce all of our products in one country. They are not produced in China. They're not produced in India. We have a number of countries that are part of our parts allocations, and so we do that in 7 countries. Our products are assembled and for the most part manufactured in the United States and Canada. We do have other countries that play a role, and this could be anything from boxes to wires that will be in different different areas. So it is something that has been a very, 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 it's been very trying. And we've certainly had to take some price increase, and that has 100% played into the development time on products. Because if you can't get components at a reasonable cost, your entire development cycle gets thrown off. Because
you can't do large scale manufacturing with a new product if you can't get the components you need to build the product. So.
It's been tough, and then we've been undercut by the large players. We don't buy things 20, 30, 40, 50,000 at a time. We buy them a couple hundred at a time, component wise, and we get pushed to the bottom of the barrel, as do many AT companies. And we've seen a lot of assistive technology go through shortages and be on back order. So, the Victor Stream is not going anywhere. The Victor Reader Trek will still continue to be supported, but the Stellar Trek is going to be a new product that we're really looking to enhance and bring forward our orientation mobility space, thanks to the existing here maps, all of the pieces which I'll be talking about, and then again the advent of the cameras on the device, bringing us the ability to get text in our environment, then also work with some AI to start and really address the final 30 feet. What happens when we reach our destination? Can we find the address? Can we find text on the window about what the business is? What are the hours? Where is the door? All of those things start to come into play at version 1.0, and then we start to augment them as we go forward. Think about lots of ways that AI is being used in machine learning and things to move forward. So,
and that's so cool, Peter, because a lot of times I found with GPS solutions, it's the last 20 feet that is the hardest when you're blind or visually impaired.
Yeah, it can get you in the vicinity, but
I shouldn't say the hardest. Obviously, I'm not discounting the travel and skill it takes to get there, but getting to the address or getting to the business is sort of the easy part. It's that last 20 feet. Now, where is the actual door versus all the windows? Where there's 3 or 4 doors, which is the right one, which is the right address.
Even if you're an experienced traveler.
How many times I do this all the time. I get somewhere, I think I'm close. I want to pick up a sandwich. I open the door and I'm like, this smells like perfume. This is not my sandwich shop. And I go in and they're like, oh no, go next door. But again, what we want to, and nothing, I don't think we'll get to a point in the near future where we'll fully replace our need to ask questions and use those sorts of skill. But I think as we go forward, we will see this use of AI, machine learning, really start to zero in on not just can we find the door, are we at the correct address, can we identify text in our environment, but bus stops, getting lights. There are some wonderful new apps out there that can do pedestrian crossing signal detection that are very reliable. And again, it's never going to replace your skill, but it is going to be a reality. And we need to be looking at those things. And indoor navigation being the final frontier as well. And not just indoor navigation, but a standard. So again, something we need to be conscious of that we will be looking at as we move forward now that we have a product that will have these cameras.
Sure, cool. I thought space was the final frontier. You said indoor navigation, but
that's what you thought.
Sure it's space.
That's what you thought. What, do you want to rethink some things, Luke?
I guess so.
I mean, I don't want to say you're wrong but you're wrong.
I mean, it's at the start of every single episode of Star Trek.
Yeah, but they didn't have indoor navigation at that point. Now we do.
Yeah,
so
and their eyes were.
Oh, wait, so we're more advanced than they were on Star Trek?
Yeah, Captain Picard would be like, holy cow, I changed everything. It's actually indoor that's the final frontier.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share.
Should we take a look at their product here?
Yeah, let's take a look. So I'm going to share my camera, and I'll talk about the physical description, and I'll kind of give us the lay of the land button-wise, and some of the functionality. And we'll actually hear it in action as well. So let me share my camera. And again, I'm using a...
Sorry, Pete, we do have a question in the chat here, which I'll just throw at you while I'm seeing it here. Jim asks, will the Stella require a cellular connection?
It will not. So all of the maps will be housed on board. I will talk about map management. They will be on board. No need for cellular. Everything is offline. You will have data, coming through the satellites to kind of give you your positioning and all of that. But as far as needing a cellular connection, no. And we are always asked, why can't we have that? And I say, again, to get a device that uses data, you have to do a lot from the FCC standpoint to get a device approved. You also then have to replicate that in country after country. The European Union has very different standards than the United States or Canada. So when you start to talk about data and cellular data, it's wonderful, but you need some serious bandwidth to get that product approved across the board. And even for these devices, we go through medical device certification in Europe. We go through all kinds of certifications. And that would just be an entirely new layer. So fortunately, no, you do not need cellular. And this is a great use case for the product. It is something that we find those users who are newer to blindness, who struggle with touchscreen technology, this is a perfect fit for them. I am an iPhone user. I used all kinds of travel apps, but I'll say last week, I took my daughter for a walk on my back, and I don't know about anybody else, but when I have a cane in one hand, and my daughter on my back, or I'm carrying a bag, or I'm doing something, I don't have the ability to one-handedly use my iPhone. And so I had I had the Stellar Trek with me on my belt, and I know my neighborhood very well, but it was very reassuring to know where I was, to know I could go exploring, and to have that feedback as I cruised. So again, the use cases are there. The battery drain that GPS takes on your phone, some of those pieces, that cellular data can really be a great thing, but it can also, we know that this product kind of fits into a different sort of niche.
Sure.
So I'm going to share my camera here. And let me know, Luke, if you see this.
Yep.
Okay. And again, if I need to move it, I can.
Yeah, just bring it to audio a little bit, maybe.
Let's do that. How's that?
Yep, looking good. Looking
good. All right.
Yep.
It'll be about as good as we get. This is kind of an older webcam that I have, but the product is on camera, and what we have is a very simple, very clean interface. I'll try to describe this to everybody who is like me and is totally blind, because you want to know what it looks like and feels like. It is a very simple product, about the size of an old sort of Nokia type of phone with an antenna on it. This device does not have an antenna, but I'm trying to give you a sense of if you would have felt one of those phones in about 2004 or 5. The device has a simple top interface. There are only about 7 buttons up here. The very furthest away from you, the device is blank. There's nothing on the top face. As you come toward yourself, you will feel a series of buttons. You have a 5-way directional keypad with a confirm button in the middle. So you're up, down, left, right, and confirm. You then have 2 buttons above the keypad and 2 buttons below the keypad. The 2 buttons above the keypad, the top left it's marked with a horizontal line, and that is your back button. The top right is your go-to button. And again, they're different sizes. We always try to make our products, every button has to be have some kind of differentiation, be it size or tactile marking. So you have a go-to button on the top right, the top left button being your back. Bottom left is your where am I button, telling you your direction of travel, your next intersection, that relevant information, what address you're near. And the bottom right button is the voice button, because we do support dictation on this device.
Very nice.
You will be able to dictate at launch. This will be an edit field. This is not data or smart dictation. You're not going to say directions to the nearest McDonald's. What you're going to do is you will be able to speak the name of your city, speak the name of your street name, speak your address number into those fields. And that is this will and should evolve. But at first, it's our first try at, we know a lot of users struggle with the text entry methods on these devices. And we certainly can enter text using the directional keypad, which I'll demonstrate. We can also enter text using a Bluetooth keyboard as well. But you can use voice dictation as well to enter information.
Peter, I have to just pick you up on that a second, because I know in the past, like onboard dictation hasn't necessarily been the most accurate. The stuff that utilizes the internet tends to be a little bit more accurate these days. Although I'm sure a lot of Siri users would like to disagree with that, but for the most part, it does tend to be a little bit better. So, how have you found the dictation that's in the Stellar?
So because it's so limited to scope, the scope is so small that it's been very accurate. I mean, you're only saying city names, street names.
You're
not using it to dictate messages or, and it's been reliable. I am sure though, I mean, our ultimate goal is to bring in a Siri like, an actual assistant type of dictation where you could say, directions to 226 Sutter Street, Barrelville, Maryland. And it would do that for you. We know that. I think one of the pieces, though, we have to keep it offline. We do not, and there's two reasons. One is, as we know from a privacy standpoint, a lot of that stuff that goes back and forth requires all sorts of certification as well. The servers and what it takes to do that, even if we were doing it just while we were at home, would require a bit of work. So it will need to be offline. And we don't have the luxury of, having that data when we're out and about. So it's going to be housed offline. And I think we'll see that being a positive so that we can refine its performance. Is it perfect? No. I mean, I've yet to find any dictation that's perfect.
Sure.
But it's done really well. And I can demonstrate it. I'll demonstrate it as well, how it works, and we'll see it in action. And maybe it will spectacularly fail, and I'll look really silly.
I certainly hope
it's a live demo.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
Everyone loves a good live demo.
There you go. Peter, quickly, sorry, another question in the chat here from Joe Lisa, asking, and we're probably jumping ahead here, but asking how much the item costs and whether it speaks in languages other than English.
So we'll get there.
Okay.
So again, top face, very simple and clean. You have your button interface here. I'm going to turn it. Maybe we can see the left side of the device here. We just have two buttons. We have our volume buttons. Those will also control the speech rate or the speed of your TTS. So again, very, very simple. On the left edge, only two buttons, volume up, volume down. If you push them together, that will toggle you to control your speed of your speech voice. On the right side of the device, two buttons. You have your power button, which functions as a sleep on, sleep off, much like an iPhone. When the device is on, you can put it in standby. The battery life is about 20 plus hours, so more than enough for a full day of travel, if not more. You also have a record button here, which is common on all of our GPS products, because one thing that does set the device apart from, and it always has, from iPhone applications or others, is the ability to drop landmarks in your environment. This is similar to how a sighted person drops a pin and says, "Meet me here," and then they have this pin that they can drop. When we cruise, we oftentimes, and I do this a lot, especially in unfamiliar environments, I will drop a landmark at my hotel entrance or at some, maybe the entrance to something in an open area. When we go to large sporting events, I'll drop one at the car. And you can navigate to those, or when you cross them in your environment, they will be announced to you. So I certainly, we use this a lot, and the record button is used to record a 4-second audio landmark. With this product, you will be able to name those with text as well, should you want to. You can go in later and name them with text, or re-record them, as you've always been able to do. But now you can actually name those landmarks with text. And again, you would use those as cues as you traverse your environment. When you pass one of those landmarks, when you're within about that 15 to 20 foot circumference of where you drop that pin, it's going to announce it to you so you know where you are. Those landmarks can also be used as destinations. You can navigate to them in open areas. And when you do that, it's great for a college campus. You're going to be getting more of a, as the crow flies directions, clock face directions, because you're not on a street grid at that point if you're in open area mode. So it can be very useful when you're hiking, I was up in the Boundary Waters up in northern Minnesota for a week in June, and I had the product with me. And we did about 60, 70 miles of canoeing and rowing and all kinds of real intense backwoods wilderness camping. And I was not, that is a very tough environment for somebody who's totally blind. There's 0.0 maintenance of those places because it's meant to be unkempt wilderness. So I was dropping pins at the fire pit, and I was limitedly kind of getting out into the woods, but there's no trails. Nothing is very, very maintained up there, but it was very neat to be able to know that should I need to, I can get back to my campsite.
Nice. That's cool.
So again, the buttons, the other piece to note here, it is USB-C. We're using USB-C for charging, as well as if we need to hook it up to a computer to import or export routes, pre-recorded routes. Routes are basically a recording of your steps or your movements, so that you can walk a route with somebody who is sighted or an instructor, and then retrace those steps or backtrack those steps if you don't want simple turn-by-turn instructions. Could be another great use case for somebody who is newer to vision loss, and will be walking the same route every day to go grab a cup of coffee. You can save those routes and certainly relaunch them and backtrack them to get to and from your starting and ending points. In addition, you can always do turn-by-turn instructions in pedestrian or vehicle mode as well. We do have an 1/8-inch audio jack, and that's how I am connected here to my mixer. So I'm going to wake the device up, and you can hear it speak.
All right.
Sleep on.
Let's get
Explore.
it. There we go.
Searching for satellites.
Now, I hope you can hear that. Let me know if it's too.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Sounds good.
So it's coming through, and what this is we are now in explore mode, and I want to just briefly talk a little bit about how we enter information. The device does have a couple of modes for text entry. It will use a virtual keyboard, and you can set that to either be the QWERTY layout. So think of when you use an Apple TV, or for those of you who use a Fire TV or Apple TV, any of those set-top sort of devices that allow you to stream content. You can navigate the virtual keyboard with your arrow keys, or you can have a QWERTY layout or an ABC layout. We know that a lot of folks may not be familiar with the QWERTY keyboard in their head. So QWERTY makes no sense, but A, B, C, D, E, F, G makes a lot more sense. So you will have a grid type of keyboard as well. When you're entering text, it's a matter of navigating the keyboard and pressing confirm on the letter you'd like to enter. I'll demonstrate that. We're going to do a little bit of going to an address in a moment here. And we also have a new mode. So in addition to the orientation, we do have some OCR, and I will be doing a quick OCR demonstration as well.
And so, Peter, I assume that the OCR is utilizing the cameras, and you'd mentioned there's 2 cameras. Those are both on the back of the device, are they?
So there are 2 cameras. I've just flipped the device over, and I don't know if you can see them.
If you bring it down a little bit toward you.
Can.
There we go. That's perfect.
So there are 2 cameras on the back side of the device. They are at the top of the device. When you're holding the device up, they are pointing away from you at the top back of the device. One is a camera that is more of a narrow focus camera meant for OCR. That is meant to gather text in your environment. And there are 2 OCR, or optical character recognition, modes to identify text. One is quick reading. Think of that as a rapid fire. I use this a lot when I'm walking down a street. It will gather any text in your environment. Whatever you point the camera at, if it sees text, it will immediately begin to read. Very similar to quick reading when you use Seeing AI. When your camera identifies text, boom, it reads it back to you. The second is detailed reading, which is what I'll be doing a demonstration of, and that is for full page reading, where you can take a picture of a piece of mail. In this case, we're going to be looking at a recipe, and you can gather that information. So it will have 2 cameras. The first is for OCR. The second is for address recognition and door detection. That is a 180-degree camera. That is a wide-angle camera meant to really take in a lot more of your environment so that it can try to tell you where a door may be. The way it works is when you get into detection modes, which I'll demonstrate. So when I have the product on, I'm out and about, I've reached a destination. I want to get a little bit more information about my environment, maybe that address recognition, or maybe I want to take a picture of some text. If I press and hold my up arrow,
detection modes. Address confirmation.
I have 3 detection modes. The first is address confirmation. And the way this works is, and it won't work down here. If I hit confirm, I'm down here, I'm in my basement, so we're not going to be doing any address confirmation. The way it works though is it functions in that I press confirm and I will receive a series of tones if my camera can detect a door or a house number. Yeah. So if it doesn't see anything, you won't get any feedback. If it sees a door, you will start to get dun, 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 dun. And as those beeps become more rapid, your accuracy or confidence level of the camera is higher, of the device. So if you just get one bump, okay, maybe it saw the corner of something, it might have seen a door, but you need to kind of use your sort of scanning technique to kind of move your camera around until you get a series of rapid beeps, and then take a picture, and it will tell you if a door or house number is present and how far away that door is.
How good is it at discerning between doors and windows, just out of interest?
Well, it's a work in progress. It's a really good question. If anybody has tried the new iOS with door detection, you do have a bit of the same issue. There are a lot of glass doors out there.
Oh yeah, sure.
That do not, and if sunlight's reflecting off of them, it could see them as windows. Or sometimes it will see them as 2 doors. You oftentimes have a door next to a window, right, especially at a commercial establishment or a doctor's office, or where you have the kind of swinging door and then the big glass pane next to it. What I found is in address detection is great, but what I find, if I can't get it to work, I will press my right arrow, and instead of doing address confirmation,
quick reading,
I will come over to quick reading. And what that does is it just looks for text in my environment. And a lot of times I can find out more quickly what a business is by the text on the door or window than I can from knowing its address. So this is useful. And again, this is very much rapid fire. It looks for text in your environment and it reads it back to you and takes a picture every second and a half. And any text it sees, it pulls. I find this extremely useful when I'm walking around. So that is there. And I'm going to come over to the right one more time.
Detailed reading.
And we have detailed reading. And this is what we'll do in a moment, where we actually take a picture of a page of text and it reads back what is in our, on our page. We can navigate those text blocks.
So that feature really, I mean, that detailed text there isn't even necessarily navigation related. It's just a handy tool for accessing printed text.
Yeah, more so just, something you may use at home.
Yeah, sure.
And it, because you may be, when you enter that restaurant, they might hand you a menu, hopefully.
Totally.
They might not need you to take a QR code. Hopefully they hand you a menu, or if you can't find one online, they give you a paper one, and you can take a nice picture of it and get some detailed reading on it, as opposed to just the quick reading is good, but it's really meant for quickly capturing text in your environment. I use it when I'm going through boxes in my cabinet, for instance. I need a quick picture of this, boom, and I'm going to get an idea of what that box is and move on to the next can or box or bottle. Where detailed reading is when I need the instructions, when I need the serving size, when I need, and I'm not saying I pay attention to serving sizes, trust me, but you can then pull that detailed text out.
I feel like your lovely wife does all of the cooking in your house anyway.
You feel and correct. You know very well. I am extremely fortunate to have a phenomenal cook.
Yes, I can definitely vouch for that.
She is it's impressive. And actually, we're going to take a picture of her cookbook here in a second to read a recipe. And for the record, she does not use cookbooks, but we have tons of them. She just kind of invents things, but we do have tons of cookbooks around here. The other piece, I do want to do a little bit of a demonstration on how we would get to an address and do a little bit on this text entry feature. I have created, so the product itself will launch on the 23rd of August. Accompanying the launch, there will be snapshot tutorial videos that I've created. I'm up to about 9. Hopefully by launch, I'll have about 12 of them done. Nice. Those will be very simple snapshots allowing you to learn, how do I enter an address? How do I pair a Bluetooth keyboard? How do I connect to Wi-Fi to manage my maps? How do I do all of these things?
And presumably these will be on the Humanware website.
They will be on the Humanware website, and they will also be in the HW Buddy, which is our Humanware application for iOS and Android. Okay. They will be up there as well. In addition to text how-to guides, will be up there as well. So a lot of resource material will be there. Again, we'll be doing the webinar on September 1st. The device itself, you will be able to manage maps at launch via Wi-Fi. The maps will be, you will be able to manage them. And I've created videos on how to do this, but you're going to be pulling maps to and from the device as needed. You will get about 5 to 6 maps at a time on the device. They are large. They're a lot larger than those of you who had Victor Reader Trex. You can put the entire United States on the device. And that's not possible here because we're using high definition maps. So they are a little bit different. We still have the virtual exploration, which is phenomenal. I use it all the time to be able to learn about an environment before I go. And be able to walk the street grid before I even get to my destination. I do this before I go to conferences, before I hit the road. I'll be in DC next week. I'm going to be doing it there before I have a meeting in Washington, DC, and certainly love to get the lay of the land before I go. So all of those features are still there, but the maps side of things, you're going to need to manage over Wi-Fi, and they will download and kind of be brought to the device. There will be an offline map management mechanism moving forward. It's not at the device at launch.
So will it come preloaded with any maps, or you just go ahead and get the ones that you need?
It will not. So part of the device, what we've done, which is a departure from previous devices, is we have a startup wizard that walks you through your button orientation, walks you through pairing a Bluetooth device, such as a keyboard if you have one, also walks you through connecting to Wi-Fi, as well as map management. So what maps do you want on your device? And I've created videos walking you through the startup wizard, as well as all of those other individual pieces.
I know that some of your low vision devices have got startup wizards as well, like the Reveal 16i, for example. And yeah, they're definitely handy for getting stuff set up before you
getting things going. And it gives you a nice orientation and kind of walks you through some of the steps. And then if you need to do other things later, that's why we have all the videos and how-tos.
Sure.
I've created them because I want you to be able to feel comfortable that, well, I don't want to install maps now. I want this thing to work, but then, gosh, I need to go install some maps. How do I do that? And so we will have videos on diving into those pieces. I'm going to go to an address here just to give you a quick sense of this dictation. Let's press our go-to key. So I'm going to press my go-to key again, the top right button on my keypad here.
Select a landmark as your destination. One landmark.
Here we go.
This is my house.
All right.
Chicago.
Now, this landmark,
Illinois.
I dropped that in front of my door.
Press confirm to start route in pedestrian mode.
And what you're hearing is when I hit go to, it says, here's some landmarks you have pre-saved. That one was an audio landmark, but I could, start getting directions to that landmark. If I use my down arrow, I could enter virtual map browsing mode at that landmark, where it would then put me on the street grid. I could do a lot of things. What I want to do though is manually enter an address. So I'm going to press my left arrow.
Enter an address.
And we hear enter an address. I'm going to press confirm.
Select a country. One country. United States.
Now, you can download maps from their global map availability. So you no longer have to get special keys and things. We have many, many countries now. I think we're up to something like 30 something countries, if not more. There are all the European countries. We have several countries in the Middle East and North Africa, as well as countries, Australia, New Zealand, and others. So we're limited on the Asian offerings at this point. We're going down that road though, and getting a lot more Asian and South and Central American countries, but everything else is kind of here. I only have one map installed, I think, on this unit, so I'm just going to press confirm on United States.
Select a state. 2 states.
I have 2 states.
Illinois.
Illinois, and I think I have Missouri. I was recently at the International AER conference. Hopefully I saw somebody there who may be on here today. But I'm going to press confirm on Illinois.
Enter city name. Q.
Now, at
Chicago.
this point,
press go to confirm.
It says enter city name, and the last city I entered was Chicago. Now, what I'm going to do is demonstrate the dictation feature here. So again, I could navigate my keyboard. I'm in the QWERTY layout. If I press my right arrow,
W E R T Y.
We're navigating across that top row of characters, Q, W, E, R, T, Y, U, I, and so on. If I wanted to enter a character, I could press confirm, and it would drop it in. Here, I just put in a
T.
Y. Let's put in a T. All right, so we put in a Y and a T. If I want to have read back to me what I've entered, I could press my voice key, just tap it.
Y T.
And it reads YT, telling me that's what I've entered thus far. If I want to delete a character, I can press and hold my left arrow.
T.
Just deleted the T.
Y.
Just deleted the Y, and so on. So, and again, I've created videos on how to enter text. How do we put in uppercase letters? How do we put in numbers? The number row is present above our QWERTY row. All of that is there. What I'm more focused on, though, is how do we dictate to this? And it's asking for a city name. And Chicago was the last city I entered. Let's do something different, though, just to throw this a curveball. We're going to go to the city of my birth. We're going to go to Maywood, Illinois. And I'm just going to demonstrate that here. So again, if I press and hold my voice button, I will hear a tone, and then I will be able to say Maywood. So if I press and hold, I get a here. Hold on. If I press and hold, I'm going to get a beep.
No entry matching your message.
I found that this doesn't work well when I'm connected to the speaker. So give me 1 second. Maywood. There we go. It actually worked.
Maywood. Press go to confirm.
So you heard that, again, very quick. I heard a short boop, and I said Maywood, and it says, okay, Maywood, press go to confirm. So I'll hit my go to key, and it will search for Maywood on the Illinois map.
Searching. Select a city. One city. Maywood.
Okay, so it found Maywood. I'm going to press confirm.
Enter street name.
Now, street name. I am going to say 25th Avenue. So again, I'm going to press and hold my voice key. 25th Avenue.
No entry matching your message.
I think it's because I'm hooked up.
Q.
Let me try it again. We need that beep. And when I found that when I'm hooked up to the mixer, I don't get the beep.
Always come.
Hold on. One more time. I have faith and confidence. I believe in it.
No entry matching your message.
Yeah.
Q.
All right, let's try one more time here. 25th Avenue.
No entry matching your message.
Yeah, right.
Q.
So I think we'll do one more and that's it. Nope, not going to do it. Now, what I could do, I know it's because I'm hooked up, because I'm not actually hooked up to a microphone, and it's giving me trouble. What I'm going to do, though, if I want to manually enter this, I can just come up to my number row.
1, 2.
And hit 25.
5.
And just hit go to.
25. Searching.
It will find any streets with 25 in them.
Got you.
And I know there is a 25th Avenue in Maywood.
Wait. Select street. 2 streets. 25th Avenue.
Boom.
Nice.
So it finds it. So again, you can manually enter. You could use a Bluetooth keyboard. We did see kind of that dictation in progress. If I unhook this from my mixer, it works every time with the beep. Something's weird where it doesn't want to do it when I have that hooked up.
I think it must think that there's no, when you plug in your headphones, it probably thinks
there's no microphone.
The microphone. I wonder if the system microphone goes, inactive, so it's not hearing.
I did like the way that you could just type in 25 rather than 25th Avenue, because I mean that makes the text input side of things really pretty convenient.
So you just have to enter a string. It can be good and it can be bad, because if you have, let's say, Main Street and you only put in MA, it's going to find Massasoit and all kinds of things. So you want to put in relevant letters, but for something like 25th, it's just going to find 25. So I can press go to again. Press confirm, on 25th Avenue. Here's my civic number. Again, I'm you can dictate in here as well and say 1266 or something. So you are able to use dictation or
that's what that's called.
Civic number. That is,
I have no idea.
Me neither.
I just thought it was the number parts of the address. Civic number. All right, look at that. You learn something new every day.
Civic number is is the technical term for the address.
Okay.
And when you put this in, again, it'll create a landmark and you can get driving directions, walking directions, or you could virtually enter map browsing mode from the address you put in. Nice. And this is a huge piece. The other thing is you can use a Bluetooth keyboard in these fields, and I demonstrate this in a snapshot tutorial on how we do that. It's very straightforward. I mean, you pair the keyboard and start typing. Boom, it's gonna work.
Peter, I hate to jump in and interrupt here, but somehow we only have 5 minutes left. I don't know where the time has gone here, but I don't know if you wanted to demonstrate the OCR.
I do want to briefly do the OCR. I'm going to stop my camera share because it'll just be in my way, but I will do a brief demonstration of the OCR. I'm going to put my webcam up here to my left, and I'm going to grab our cookbook here. And what I'm going to do, again, we're going to go into detection modes. So I'm going to press and hold my up arrow.
Detection modes. Address confirmation.
Now, again, the first one is address confirmation. I'm going to use my right arrow to come over to quick reading.
Quick reading.
And one more time over to detailed reading.
Detailed reading.
Because I'm taking a picture of a printed page. So I'm going to do a detailed reading here. Now, when I press confirm, what it will do is it will guide me through a sort of a field of view report. It's going to tell me move up, move left, move right to help you position your camera to take the best OCR picture you can. General rule of thumb, and I'm sure Corey, you teach this as well, is elbows on the table. If you don't have a stand, your elbows on the table will serve as a great stand, as kind of the right height and whatnot. So I'm just going to press confirm.
Camera ready.
Camera's closer. Ready. See how it says move closer.
Rotate clockwise.
Again, I'm just kind of moving my camera around so we can see.
Rotate clockwise.
Once it's ready,
rotate clockwise.
It will tell you to stop moving.
Rotate clockwise.
And it will take the
Rotate
picture.
clockwise.
So
Rotate clockwise.
Every OCR loves to just constantly.
Rotate clockwise.
yeah, it always wants it better,
clockwise.
right? So
It's so tricky. It's so tricky to
Rotate
get them all.
clockwise.
but again, if you want
I
to take
said
the photo,
clockwise.
Clock. Stop moving. Taking picture.
There we go. There you go. Awesome. Can you force it to take a picture, Pete, or do you have to wait for it to...
Camera ready.
what's that?
Can you force it to take a picture, or do you have to wait for it to be aligned?
You can just press confirm. You can just press confirm. So if you want to, here, I'll demonstrate. If I just hit
Stop
confirm,
moving. Taking picture.
it's just going to say stop moving, taking picture, and it's going to take that photo.
Okay.
Cascaril and white bean soup. Zupadai Scaroli Cannellini is completely ill. Adjust the ill.
Completely ill?
Oh,
That's not good.
A nice quick shot, right? It's completely ill. But if I want to make escarole and white bean soup, this is the page I'm on. And if I do a quick reading just to quickly demonstrate what that means.
Detect quick reading. Camera
What you'll
ready.
hear, I'm just going to hold my camera up here. It's going to take a picture.
And white bean soups pass a walt MEDLK.
Again, it pulls and then it'll take a new photo.
Hold on. So it's actually
ready.
taking pictures. It's not doing. It's not doing like a live thing.
It's just taking photos.
Oh,
so
interesting.
because it's meant for
Cascaril and detection modes.
stop it. Because it's
Quick reading.
offline. We don't want to have a video feed being live.
Sure, of course.
The reason why Seeing AI can do some of those things, it's going through servers and things, and it's not, because this is offline. If you run a video feed, you start getting all kinds of caching on your device. When you do snapshot photos as opposed to the video feed, you get better results in a rapid fire sort of environment. We've experienced with it, and I'll tell you, when I was doing some original beta testing, I went to upload some images and I had like 748,000 photos technically.
Ooh.
Because it was running the video stream and trying to capture each stream, part of the stream, gather text. So we learned very quickly that it wasn't a very efficient way to kind of gather. But again, the device that quick reading is great for
Explore.
Is great for when you are trying to gather text in your environment. I like to aim it at windows, kind of just have it taking pictures as I'm walking down the street. I find it really useful. So a couple of modes, and there will be videos demonstrating these as well. That certainly we'll dive into.
All right, Pete, we are at time here, but quickly, because we still haven't answered Jolice's question, how much is it going to cost, and does it speak in other languages?
So it will speak in other languages. The localizations, there are about 18 localizations. They will primarily be Spanish, French, German, a lot of European languages at this point, Arabic. And the cost, so from a US standpoint, the launch cost is going to be $15.95. So and again, I think when it comes to that, we really want to think about where this device goes as we move forward. Where does that AI start to lead us into benefits that far outweigh what we can do on a smartphone today? For someone who's not familiar with it, that's a very steep price point. We're very much aware of that. I think it comes down to the AI, how we're going to be able to work with it, and what we will be able to bring forward as these cameras start to take shapes and kind of bring us some new features. So,
every new product, new products, if you want to be in sort of at ground level, especially a product like this that's got the two cameras where the future is so open to this product, you have to remember that there is going to be a bigger cost on something like this.
Yeah, and I think for many, it's, and I tell this to anyone, if we're not here, and I would never tell someone that this is a replacement for your iPhone travel. If this is meant for a specific user, if the product is not right for you, please don't get the product. I can't say it enough. We know that this is a very useful product, and it will develop into something very, very useful for many users, but it's not like it's this perfect solution for everyone out there. We live in the GPS space because we still have a lot of customers who are very comfortable in that space, and where this will fill a great void in what it is they're trying to do. So, and I certainly, even as a power user, I still do use it. I really like the standalone GPS, much as I still use a Victor Reader Stream, because I like to push buttons. I like to have a dedicated device for reading books. And that's me. I think that we will find a lot of success in this product, and I think it will mature. I know this product will mature outside of just being a standalone GPS device with a couple of cameras. We will see more innovation with what we're able to do with AI.
Relating to that, Pete. So, well, first of all, I just want to make sure I do this. Somebody asked me to get the Canadian launch price, if you happen to know what it is.
I do not, but I will make sure you get that in. And again, this will be announced on the 23rd. So it is currently the 18th.
Yep.
If you wait till the 23rd of August, you will have all the launch, the info for extended warranties, the info on all of that. And please join us on September 1st as well. I believe it is. No, I'm not even going to do that because I don't know what the exchange rate was set when they justified price points.
No problem. Yeah, that's fine.
So I don't want to misspeak because I'm good at that, where I say something and then I realize the dollar was at a certain level, and so
somebody calls and says, "Peter promised me."
Yeah, exactly.
Peter told me
20 Canadian dollars.
I thought it was weird, but he promised me.
But we are fired up. We really are. We're excited to be in this space. We have not had this type of product, and it's going to be extremely neat to bring this forward. And you'll be hearing a lot from me in the upcoming months and whatnot on product demoing and things like that. So please stay tuned.
Maybe we can have you on in the future once the product has matured a little bit and we have some new features and so on and so forth.
There is a lot
going on behind the scenes.
I would love to do a live demonstration out and about.
Yeah,
so talking of which, let's make a little segue here. So we have recently got back to making our produced videos.
Yep.
And the first one released last Thursday. Jonathan, our producer behind the scenes here, has been working diligently on putting those together. Editor extraordinaire. Yep. So the first one released last Thursday. That was on the Ox site by Onyx, and I think it came out very nicely. So please do go to our YouTube channel to check that out, youtube.com/InFocus Technology, and you will be able to see that video there. Yes, Peter?
Can we call it Tech Walk Live?
Well, that is very good. All right. So if we do one on Peter's product here, on the Stella, then we will call it Tech Walk Live, especially for him. And next Thursday we have our next exciting video come out. So they will be coming out every other Thursday in between the Tech Talk Live weeks. So the week after the Tech Talk Live week, we will have a produced video releasing
every week. Every
week you will get us in some form. And the next produced video will be Corey talking about the app, which is known as Google Lookout. There we go. I got that.
I knew you were going to get there.
So that's I've seen a rough edit of the video, and it's coming together very nicely. So please look forward to that. As I said before, it is youtube.com/InFocus Technology. And you can also show you what that looks like with my handy button here. That's what that would look like if you go to YouTube and check out that channel. With that being said, Peter, I would love to keep on talking because it's always a great pleasure, but unfortunately we're out of time here. So thank you very much for coming on the show. I hope you had a nice time.
As always, thank you so much. I always appreciate the reaching out and when you guys say, "Can you come on?" And it's always great to be here. And I look forward to coming back and hopefully seeing you guys in person sooner than later as well. So
just before that would be great. Just before I let you go, actually, Jonathan has just informed me we do have a question from YouTube. So Jonathan,
right? Spencer was wanting to know if this will be at the BVA next week, the Blinded Veterans Association. They have a national convention in DC. Yep.
So
any chance that
I do believe
there to discuss, or,
sorry, I know you can't hear me.
Okay, go ahead. Go for it, Pete.
I believe it should be there. ITG, who is our dealer on the East Coast, will be at exhibiting at BVA, and I believe they will have the device. I could be wrong because it will not be me. So I'm not at BVA this year, but.
And frankly, if it's not you, Pete, then why even bother at that point, you know?
It's a waste of it. No, I think this will be certainly available through the VA, and certainly will be a major place where we have it. So I believe it should be there next week, but I can't make any guarantees.
Okay, that's good enough. Thank you. Well, thanks again, Pete. Very much looking forward to seeing you in person soon and talking to you again on the show whenever we are able to do that. And thank you, everybody, for watching. It's been an excellent show, as usual. We look forward to seeing you on our YouTube channel next Thursday for the release of our video on the Google Lookout. And we look forward to seeing you on Tech Talk Live in 2 weeks' time. Do we know what we're talking about? No, of course we don't, because we are severely underprepared, as usual. But I will be sending out an email blast to let you know. And I'm sure it'll be great, whatever it is. So
I'm positive.
I'm positive it's going to be fantastic. But
I think you guys should make s'mores.
Oh, well, that would actually be really good, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, maybe that will be for next year, though, because we already have our schedule for this year. But thanks, everybody. Look forward to seeing you soon, and we are out.
Bye, friends.
Thanks for joining us for another Tech Talk Live. If you enjoyed Corey and Luke's antics, join us again in 2 weeks. To register, visit vision-forward.org/techtalklive.